Okay, I think I'm recording. Okay, so Nate and Andy, I guess, are still taking their time. So let's. What was for lunch today? Courtesy of Lady Stone. Is a delicious steak with caramelized onions and potato puree. It is delicious, my love. Have you a comment for its deliciousness? Thank you. I said it is delicious, my love. But today is Father's Day. I called my dad this morning, wished him a happy Father's Day. And last time we in Texas for Father's Day itself, we went fishing. Now, fishing in freshwater is much harder than fishing in saltwater because catching fish is it's really difficult in freshwater because a lot of the fish in freshwater are bottom feeders. They just flat out do not come to the surface. And I have to find the pictures of when I went deep sea fishing. And I've probably spoken about this on separate podcasts, but it's definitely a lot easier to catch ocean fish than it is freshwater fish. Oh, there's Andy. How you going? How you doing, Andy?
Doing how about you?
Good. But did you see what's in food for lunch?
No, I haven't looked yet.
I just posted it. But it is a steak with potato puree, courtesy of Lady Stone.
All
right. It is delicious, my love. But I kind of want to talk about talking about fathers for some people is kind of personal, so we'll avoid discussion of fathers, but it is Father's Day, so it's the discussion of things that you do on Father's Day, like fishing. Yeah, and last time I was in Texas to celebrate Father's Day with my dad, we went freshwater fishing in Lake Louisville, and that is substantially harder because a lot of freshwater fish, especially in a lot of man-made lakes, are bottom feeders. They oftentimes do not come to the surface, and I think a lot of the fish that aren't bottom feeders, they're not in plentiful enough amounts to catch routinely. You know?
All right.
Like your standard trout and bass, you have to get up at the crack ass of dawn to catch those.
Huh.
It's because a lot of fish, they do a lot of their feeding at the beginning of the day because a lot of bugs are near the surface of the water. And so, they go to the surface, snap up all their protein for the day, and then retreat down to lower depths because it's safer.
Yeah.
That's typically the reason. But I had to find the picture, but I did go deep sea fishing one time, and that is where I caught a lot of fish. I might have to find the pictures, but have you ever gone fishing, Andy?
Nope.
Never been fishing before?
Not that I can recall.
Then, let's see. Another Father's Day activity, golfing. You ever been golfing?
I used to do mini golf back when I was like a long time ago, but that's about it.
Mini golf, like what's the mini golf courses called where you're at? Because when I was a kid in Texas, we had a putt golf. No joke, it was called putt golf. I don't know if it's still there. I have to check.
I don't remember what they're called. It's been a long time. It's been maybe like 15, 20 years.
Right, but did it also have like a laser tag and like an arcade too?
Oh, I've never done that.
Oh dang! Wait, we're not even classic arcade?
Nope.
I would think going to a classic arcade would be your thing.
Oh, you mean like a regular arcade though with games?
Yeah, like where you just collect
Oh,
tickets
yeah, I've done
and
that.
get a prize and everything.
I've only done it a few times, but I've done it, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I think it was one Father's Day, we went to the National Video Game Museum in Frisco, Texas. Have you heard about that?
Nope.
Yeah, believe it or not, there is a National Video Game Museum in Frisco, Texas.
Huh, okay.
Yeah. And they have literally every video game console ever created on display. And some of which you can. Yeah, and they have a giant Pong machine. I might have gone over this in prior podcasts, but they also have the you remember the Super Mario Brothers movie with the live action one?
The 90s one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the jump boots they wore?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have those on display.
The
actual prop from the movie.
That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. But I imagine it's probably tough to get your hands on stuff like that because that movie is one of those movies where everyone involved was ashamed to have ever been involved with it.
Understandable.
Yeah, it's another good example is this movie called The Island of Dr. Moreau. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it's based on a H.G. Wells book. And yeah, everyone involved was ashamed to be a part of it, including Marlon Brando of all people. Yeah, I imagine the name Marlon Brando sounds familiar, right?
No, it doesn't.
Wow, okay, you watched a lot of older movies. But the movies he was in would sound familiar, like The Godfather.
Yeah, The Godfather, yeah.
Yeah, and several others. And around the 90s, right, basically saying I started a movie opposite of Marlon Brando was a smaller and smaller window, because he was getting older, and he was basically just retiring. He was just not being in movies anymore. And so there was a guy who wanted to direct The Island of Dr. Moreau. And he wanted Marlon Brando as one of the stars. Problem is, he also wanted Val Kilmer, who he didn't realize it until he got to set, was an ego-driven asshole. Yeah, so Critical Drinker has a video on the whole thing, but it was a miserable 5-year experience in a Malaysian jungle, which was hot and humid, and basically people weren't allowed to leave. They were trapped on this goddamn set and forced to make this movie.
Yeah, that does not sound pleasant.
Oh, it gets worse. So basically, the director had to deal with Val Kilmer and Marlon Brando at the same time. And by the time Val Kilmer's scenes were done, he basically told Val Kilmer he never wanted to see him again for the rest of his life.
Wow. Pretty crazy.
Because it's just like I was like, how big of an asshole do you have to be that when you're done working with someone, you tell them to their face, "I never want to see you again for the rest of my life."
Wow.
But
Well.
Huh?
Well, that doesn't sound like a very pleasant person to be around.
No, it's the reason why like Val Kilmer by around like I would say the mid 2000s, he basically started to like disappear from movies entirely. Like, well, I'd have to look up this. Ah. Let's see, Val Kilmer filmography. Let's see here. Yeah, around the late 90s is when it started drying up for him, sure. I'm on his Wikipedia page right now.
All right.
Let's see here. Oh, is that Nate? Nate? Who just joined?
Yes. Me.
That was Nate.
Hi, Nate.
Hello.
Nate, can you hear me?
Nate, we can't hear you. Yeah, we can't hear you, Nate.
That's weird.
All right, now we can hear you.
Now I can hear you, but you're still kind of quiet.
Yeah, I am speaking quietly.
Huh?
I am speaking quietly.
Why are you speaking so quietly?
Because I just like I'm drained from work, so.
Oh, okay. Are you still up to do the intro?
Yeah.
All right, then give us our
70,
intro.
right? 70, right?
71, yes.
Oh, 71? Okay.
Yes.
Well, hello, Pebbles across all platforms. Welcome to the It's Podcast, episode 71, apparently.
Yes, but apparently Nate's a bit drained from work. Yeah. But I was just talking about basically activities you do on Father's Day, like fishing. And somehow that got into the topic of one of the worst movie making experiences ever, called The Island of Dr. Moreau. And apparently Val Kilmer was starring in it, and I'm looking for like what the last thing he did was before things started drying up by like the mid 2000s, because they started drying up because a lot of people felt like he was really difficult to work with. So yeah, it's not that his movie career, like, I'm looking at his Wikipedia page, and it's not that his movie career completely dried up. He was still in things. It's just that, yeah, it's the starring roles that dried up by like the late 90s. Basically, everyone was pretty much fucking done with him after 1998. Like, Moses was the last big role he had in The Prince of Egypt.
What, like the DreamWorks one, or?
Yeah, the DreamWorks one.
Oh, he was Moses, okay.
Yeah, he was Moses, and because there's the idea that when God spoke to him, that God spoke to him in his voice, he also did the voice of God as well.
Okay.
Which is interesting to think about, I suppose. But okay, but back on the main topic. Nate, have you ever gone fishing?
Yeah, like, well, I guess, yeah, I'll just count like once, because it was like a whole trip, you know. Well, technically, like, we fished
Did you
twice,
freshwater or seawater?
but I only fresh.
Okay, well,
Bruh, we are not going to bother, like, heck, flying a whole distance just to get to like the Baltic Sea.
Oh yeah, you
No.
guys are pretty far from the ocean, aren't you?
Yeah, we are a landlocked state, bruh.
Yeah. Um.
So yeah.
Well, we
But yeah, it was I hating.
Go ahead.
But I've only like caught my first and only fish so far, and it was like, let me just find it. It was like half naked carp.
Mm-hmm.
Just fuck. I
Wait,
can't
what was it
type.
called? Half naked carp.
Yeah, I'll show it. I'll show
Okay,
it.
are you putting it in animals or food?
Other pictures.
Oh, other pictures. Okay. And show me your animals.
It's like it's not my animal, nor is it like is it photo? It's a
Well,
drawing.
if you caught it, it is technically your
So
animal at
yeah.
that point.
I let it go, of course. It's like yeah,
Oh, it's catch and release.
yeah,
Okay.
yes.
A lot of
My one
freshwater
and
lakes and
only.
ponds are like that. If you fish, it's catch and release. Preserves the fish population. Though how fish get along the rest of their life with a big hook wound in their mouth, I don't know.
I think it should heal up.
Oh, that's an interesting looking fish. It has a very interesting scale pattern.
Yeah, there's actually like it's like just smooth skin, like when there are no scales. So there's only like scales again at the top and on its lateral line. Is it called that? Lateral line fish. Yeah, lateral line. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'd have to look up the fish I caught because the other time I've really caught fish, I have never caught fish in like fresh water before because I explained this at the beginning, but catching fish in fresh water is really really hard because most of the time you do have to get up at the crack ass of dawn to do it. But catching fish in seawater is much easier because a lot of those fish feed practically whenever. But I'm gonna have to scroll back through on Facebook photos to find my deep sea fishing catches. Talking years and years and years back. But when was the last time you went to the ocean, Nate?
Okay, ocean. That
Mhm.
was the Canary Islands when we were well when I was like 9,
Oh dang, the
maybe.
Canary Islands.
The last time I was at sea was 2021 during the Brighton vacation.
Oh wow. Okay, I found the picture. And you are about to see a stone that is 13 years younger in this picture. Okay, I just put it in other pictures as well. But yeah, that is much younger stone there.
That looks like
Huh?
I mean, if I would be like, just to ID it like, one and done, I would say that's a barracuda.
It was a barracuda. It's a wahoo barracuda. But he put up a fight. So in fact, I
Dumb.
technically it counted as my catch simply because I was the person who reeled it in. It actually took like people taking turns to reel this thing in
Okay.
because he was like I would say about 40-pound fish, and
Okay, so yeah, 15 kilos. Yeah, that's pretty
oh
chunky.
kilos, about 20
15.
kilos.
Yeah, just half it. No, you half it.
Oh, half it, and okay, yeah, so about 20 kilos.
15.
15 kilos. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he put up a big fight, but ultimately he was delicious. We actually made homemade sushi with him.
Barracuda sushi.
Yeah, oddly enough, that's probably actually the cleanest kind of sushi you can have because barracuda eat other fish. They don't eat bugs. So they're actually the least likely to have parasites.
Not really. I mean, the fish they eat can have parasites, and it's just
That's sort of a tropic system,
delicious.
that any parasites they could possibly eat either remain in the stomach of the fish that they just ate and just float through the ocean. And
It really depends.
it really depends, but I would say, yeah, like a barracuda is probably like I said, the cleanest sushi you probably can have. And the fish on the end there, you see the
right or left?
on the far right.
Okay.
On the most right nail, you see that one?
Yeah.
That's an amberjack, and I caught that one as well. And I literally caught him as it was starting to storm, and they told us, pull up your last line. So he was literally my last catch of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And he also was a fighter. He was about, I would say, about 8 kilos.
Mm-hmm.
And he was flopping as I pulled him up. He refused to be to be caught. So on top of this, my line actually snagged, so I had to pull him in by hand, like the last leg there.
Okay.
Yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, like I said, it's easier to catch in the ocean than it is to catch them in fresh water. Because
I mean, I don't know. We were like, we went to fish like I don't know when, but we are basically there the whole day.
yeah,
And we
I
still
mean,
got
if you're there
bites.
all day,
So,
chances are you'll catch something in the fresh water. But you beg to differ, Lady Stone. So you've caught freshwater fish before?
I used to go fishing every summer with my grandfather.
Oh yeah, well, tell us about that.
I mean, there's not much to tell except that we'd get up crack of dawn to go traveling to Missouri from Texas
Mm-hmm.
and get up at 5 a.m. So at 5:30 when the horn blew, we could fish.
Mm-hmm.
I caught a lot of fish,
A lot of freshwater fish?
trout, rainbow trout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's where I learned to dissect and learn how sharp a knife could be.
Mm-hmm.
I never cut myself, but my brother did, and I've seen men do it.
Yeah.
Just fun, the little water thing that they have, and you just learn to slice them on the spine.
Yep.
It was like,
Well, I think you also have to grab the gills and then pull the spine and organs out, right?
yeah, you go into the gill and you pull out the organs, but still, it was just fun beheading and cutting everything up.
Yep.
And then when we get back home, we'd have a fish fry.
Yep.
And it was just great memory of being with my grandfather and him teaching me how to bait the hook, tie the fishing line, how to take care of your equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the week, we'd go golfing.
Mm-hmm.
Because the golf course that was there in Carthage, Missouri, was built partially by his, I think, dad or grandpa. So we would go there to kind of honor him as well. So And then days I didn't want to fish, I just stay in the RV with Grandma, and she'd take me to sewing shops and we sew some quilts.
Oh, that's good.
But mostly, I just enjoyed being out there with my grandfather,
Mhm.
despite youth.
Yeah.
But it was easy to catch fish. You just have patience. That's all.
Yeah. That and probably the better place to do it is a river rather than, a man-made lake.
Texas is stupid for that. It's like, oh yeah, we have lakes, yeah, man-made, and they're filthy.
Yeah. Like, yearly, Texas gives advisory warnings not to swallow lake water because it might contain a
Bruh.
brain-eating parasite. No joke. There's brain-eating algae sometimes in the waters of Lake
Amoeba.
Louisville.
It's an
Huh?
amoeba.
Amoeba,
It's
yeah.
an amoeba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Texas has to issue advisory warnings. Don't drink the lake water. Don't swallow it.
Yeah.
It's like
I
sheesh.
think swallowing is like, it's like not close enough, but if it gets like, like to your like smell cells, then like, then yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. If
So point is, don't put your hand in
if
the
it goes
water.
up your nose, that's another problem. And which, if you're wakeboarding or kneeboarding and you wipe out, chances are you're going to get water up your nose. Though I take it you guys probably have no idea what wakeboarding or kneeboarding is.
Nope.
Okay, so, only a lot of memories with Dad here. Back before the lake was so filthy, we had brain-eating amoeba. Would go wakeboarding and kneeboarding on Lake Louisville, and basically my dad had this, just standard wakeboarding boat, and basically you get on the board behind the boat, just hold on to the rope, and Dad just pulls you along, and if you're wakeboarding, you got to stand up, and you have to, keep moving between the wakes, and then if you're kneeboarding, you're on your knees, and I actually was able to do a few aerial 360s when I was kneeboarding, believe it or not. I could jump the wake, and I actually managed to pull a 360.
Mhm.
But
On your
the one time
knees.
I tried a 720, that was probably my worst wipeout ever. I literally, my body actually skipped on the water, like skipped.
Ouch.
It was fun though. That's the thing. You're still landing on water, so nothing's broken. You're fine.
Yet.
But yeah. Nate, have you ever another like I said, Father's Day activity is golfing. Have you ever gone golfing, Nate?
Mini golfing lots of times, like distant, like classic distance golfing once, and I tell you, ouch, my scapulas.
Your scapula. Oh,
Like,
I must be not doing your swing right because you're not supposed to hurt your scapula in your swing.
it was the first like time ever I've like done that, and like, bruh.
Oh, okay. So if it was your first time ever, then I guess that's understandable.
Yeah.
Well, how'd you enjoy it?
Mini golfing's like still way better.
Um, yeah, it can be more fun because you see all the creative mini golf courses with the little windmills or um other silly things on it.
The twists and turns and sand pits and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. In my very first relationship, this is pre Lady Stone. I actually went to South Carolina, and the mini golf course there was pretty fun. Taking pictures. But let's see, what was the best game of golf I ever had? I know it was actually on Father's Day when I took Dad golfing one time. I think I scored a 108. And it was a legit 108 for 18 holes, which is actually pretty hard to do.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, so golfing, naturally you golf 18 holes, and obviously the goal is to get the ball in the hole in the least amount of strokes. So, between 18 holes, literally on any given course, it won't your score past 10. If you get up to 10 strokes, you just pick up your ball and hold a hole. Basically, it's like, yep, you're done. But
Okay.
obviously, the goal is to get it in less than 10 strokes. And I think par 5 on one of the holes, and I was incredibly proud of myself. Not sure if you know what par is.
Uh,
I would say no.
no.
That's okay. So par in golfing is basically the expected amount of strokes it takes to get the ball in the hole. So if a course is par 5, then like your average golfer is expected to get it in the hole within 5 strokes. And yeah, I actually managed to do that. So I was very proud of myself that day. But so what's the mini golf courses in Czech like? Do you guys have like is it also like a fun center? Because some of ours here, they also have arcades and laser tag. Do yours have that?
The only like mini golf courses like I'm familiar with were actually at like camps. Like
Oh, like
yeah.
camp?
Yeah, like one of them is literally like, well, if I translate it like crudely into English, it's literally like called car camp.
Tar camp?
So yeah, just
What is
yeah,
tar camp?
car. C
Oh,
A
car
R.
camp. What's car camp?
Yeah. I don't know.
You went to a camp you don't
I
know?
guess like no, again I don't know why they call it that. I guess like you can drive your car right into the area. I guess right next to your cabin for the stay.
Huh.
I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, there was also like a tennis course and a basketball course or court.
That sounds like
Court,
a pretty
not
fancy
course.
camp.
Yeah, it was.
It was a bit of,
It also had a nice pool and yeah, everything. And of course, mini golf.
but I guess on the subject of camping, which is also another can be a Father's Day activity. Time for an embarrassing story on my behalf. So, I was impatient as a 9-year-old. Yeah, I'm still impatient now sometimes. I was really impatient as a 9-year-old.
Hey. Sorry. Sorry, but I gotta get going.
Later, Andy. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, no problem.
Mhm.
Sorry I didn't say much.
It's okay.
Next time you're choosing.
Yeah, Andy.
You wouldn't want to hear my choice.
Huh?
You wouldn't want you wouldn't want to hear my choice.
I'll just try to
Put
think of a
forward
PG one.
several. We will choose. Yeah,
No,
we
it's
will-
not. It's not anything related to porn or anything like
Well,
that.
then we can yap about anything.
Yeah. Yeah, just try to come up with a
Go
topic,
and pour
Andy.
in your ideas into the chat.
Yeah, that is your task for
Wow.
next luncheon, Andy. Let's do a topic for you, all right?
Yeah. Now
Okay.
scamper along, lad.
All right. I'll see you later.
Later.
Bye.
Yeah.
But so embarrassing stone story, right? So I was really impatient as a kid, and I wanted to see a bonfire, and I pile this big, huge ass pile of brush and logs inside the fire pit. And I'm like, all right, Dad, put lighter fluid and light it up. And he's like, I don't got lighter fluid. I'm like, he's like, yeah, I didn't bring lighter fluid, son. You know, we typically have been lighting our fires through, ashes and a single match. I'm like, ah, shit. And so Dad manages to get a little fire going. He's like, okay, if you can light up the rest of this bonfire, this little fire, and you can use that. And me being 9 years old, I'm taking a little leaf, lighting it on fire, and trying to light the rest of this bonfire with it. I'm going, damn it, as soon as it goes out, I keep trying it with all these leaves and keep going, damn it. It naturally goes out. So eventually Dad just watched me do this for like an hour, just laughing his ass off the whole time.
An hour and it didn't click? Oh my. Little
Yeah, I
kitty
was a bit of a
brain.
slow learner.
Aw.
But eventually Dad's like, okay, fine, well, I'll help you, son. And so it comes over and helps me actually get this bonfire going. Do you have an embarrassing or funny camping story like that?
Uh,
Not at the moment.
no, I don't. Well, I mean, like, the only camps I went to were, ones where we were just like cut off from civilization, basically. No parents, no phones, no nothing. Just just
When was the
us
last time
in
you
the
went?
woods. Uh, uh, when I was 16 to 17, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. Although one time we were playing like, okay, I think it's, well, it's like like those like fast little games when you like are walking long distance and you just want to spice it up. And I think it was the bomb one when the leader starts a countdown and you just have to hide from their field of vision. And I laid down like behind some tall grass, and everything was fine.
Mhm.
Baba, we continued, and then someone points out that my upper arm is like all blistered up, and and then I just looked, and yeah, and apparently I laid down in nettles. But hey,
Ooh,
I didn't feel anything, and I still didn't feel any like anything after they pointed it out.
but you
So
laid
yeah,
down in nettles?
yeah,
And also, were you like, did you have a rash afterwards?
yeah. Of course I
Oof.
did. Again, my like one of my fellow like children like pointed it out, and I was just like, yeah,
Oof.
whatever. Again, it didn't itch, it didn't anything. I didn't feel it.
Sheesh. Still,
Yeah, I
that
guess
is
that's it.
hilarious. Or you didn't feel it until the next day, right?
No, I didn't feel it at all. It just healed, and yeah, whatever.
Dang.
Yeah.
Laying down in nettles. Let's see. Another good camping story. Um, we actually went to a place called Broken Bow, which has buffalo roaming the fields outside the campgrounds. And naturally, they have some amount of fencing, but buffalo tend to like to cross fields, so they have these little openings where the buffalo cross the street and go to the next field. And naturally, campers are told, do not hop the fences. Buffaloes can charge and gore you, and it is not pretty. So don't do it. So going from one hiking place back to the campgrounds, and the buffalo are in the middle of their crossing, and some of them come up next to the car to inspect it, and like it is like literally nearly got its nose pressed against the glass, and I don't know, I can't remember if Dad did this on purpose or accident, but his elbow touches the horn, and we all freak out. We all go, ah! Because it's just like, you don't know if that buffalo is going to take that as a threat and try to charge. You know? So it's like, even though you're in a car, it's like, that thing can still, like, smash the glass and hurt us.
Mhm.
So we're like, Dad, what are you
Yeah.
doing? And he's like,
That's a
relax,
big ass wild
everybody.
cow.
And
Mm.
luckily, the buffalo didn't charge. He kind of tilted his head and then just kind of walked off.
Yeah. Like, bro, why did you touch my horn? Whatever, bye. I don't care.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, no, not the buffalo's horn. Dad honked the car horn on accident.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
hear this loud.
It was a-
It's like, oh shit.
I see.
Um, have you ever come across like big animals in the wild or anything, or like a nature preserve? Hey,
Trying to think about the biggest animal. Well, I've seen some like roe deer.
road deer.
Roe deer.
Oh, the little tiny hornless ones.
No,
I think
males.
yeah, the males have horns, but
Males
they're
have antlers as well.
yeah, but they're much smaller than your typical red deer. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they're like little tiny things that dance and prance around basically. But how close were you to them?
Well, close enough to like, distinctly like, see their body shape and eyes. Like, yeah. Again, they were just, in the middle of running, so yeah.
Okay, interesting.
I think that's the biggest like wild animal that I've
Hmm.
come across.
But
Yeah.
yeah, and animal
Yeah, well,
encounters.
yeah, if that's
But
also like,
but
I'm trying to think, but yeah, I think the roe deer is longer than the grass snake, so yeah.
mhm.
So that
But yeah, typically, navigate some of these first wild experiences with a parent, and it can be kind of interesting because parent's supposed to tell you how this is supposed to go and what you're supposed to do and everything, and it's always interesting experience. Um, but what about experiences with like anything smaller than a deer? I think you've said you'd have plenty of encounters with smaller animals, right?
Yeah, of course, my streak of catching, photographing, and letting go of like the slow worm, was it in
Mm-hmm.
English? Yeah, so those.
Oh, wow.
Uh,
I love. You
of
said
course, ev-
you caught and jarred a scorpion and a black widow one time, right?
Yes.
So I ah, I am actually interested in hearing that story. Tell me,
So
because I'm intrigued at how you caught a black widow without having your hand bitten.
simple.
Mhm.
I just took the jar lid and card,
Slid it under.
yeah, then held it together, and then when I got to my jar, placed it over it, slid the card out.
Okay, that's how you also caught the scorpion.
No, I caught the scorpion first.
And how'd you catch that one?
I just put the jar over it.
Oh, same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, but you made them fight each other.
I make them fight each other.
You did.
So I put them in there together to see what would happen.
Right, and inevitably the black widow got hungry and ate the scorpion.
I guess I just remember just looking at it was a little white scorpion. I just remember it being on its back black.
Yeah.
And the Black Widow had webbing done. And I was like, ew.
Yeah.
My dad thought I was going to be a serial killer. I think that's the only time I ever indulged in my serial killer tendencies.
Yeah. Definitely when you see poisonous animals in the wild, definitely take care to be careful with them, that's for sure. Well, let's see. So, when you said you went mini golf,
Yeah.
Nate, what was do you remember any of your scores you got?
I don't think we even kept scores. We just did it for shits and giggles.
So you just plop the ball down and just put it away, and if you got it in the hole, great. If not, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times that's how mini golf ends up being, because some holes end up being absolutely ridiculous, like especially with the windmills that are designed to keep your ball away from getting in the hole.
Luckily, we had no windmills.
What'd you say?
There were like no windmills at any of the courses I've been.
But that reminds me of one clip I'll share before we start doing comic voices and everything. Let's see, it's from Happy Gilmore. The clown. Sure, too. Nate,
Let me plop myself in. Loading.
you able to see it, Nate?
More loading. Now I see it.
All right, this one's very tough.
Okay.
He's laughing. He's having a good time. Good for you. Yeah, laugh it up. Enjoy your night.
Come on, Happy, concentrate.
Hate that clown.
Easy. If you can't beat the clown, how you gonna beat Shooter McGavin?
Yeah! You're gonna die, clown! You think that's funny? I don't need you laughing now!
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Enough.
What? I can't do it!
Come with me, Happy. Come on!
Suck, you stupid clown!
Come on.
Okay, I think I either like seen this movie like once when it was running on TV. Well, seen again. I just put it like I let it run and did like kind of other stuff to it, or it was the Gravity Falls episode that whose like mini golf course looked eerily similar to this one.
Probably, yeah. If I had to guess, Alex Hirsch probably had a few designs from Happy Gilmore, but that was Adam Sandler when he was actually funny instead of sad. I mean, sad not in the pathetic way, just sad as in yes, pathetic, but like in a funny way. I guess it's tough to describe. He's just, I don't know. He just at some point around the mid 2000s lost his talent. Either that or vastly overestimated his talent. But we'll go ahead and do comic memes. You have for me, Nate?
Trying to find some right now.
All right, I'll find
Yeah, I
something.
gotta again. I just didn't have like bleh,
It's
anything
okay.
to do. You know.
Let's see.
Where is my board?
And memes.
Yeah. Okay, I think.
All right, well, I found 3. While you are looking for yours, just post them in memes. I'll go ahead and voice these 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do you see the first one?
Hi.
Hmm?
Loading. Yep.
Okay. So, Father's Day. Expectation. Happy Father's Day, Daddy. Oh, thank you, sweetie. Reality. Happy Father's Day? You ate my cake, didn't you? That is the reality. It's like, best laid plans, as they say. It never goes according to plan all the time. This one with George Washington crossing the um, the Potomac in the classic painting. You kids quiet down or I will turn this boat around. Being an actual founding father. And then this last one here. So it's a kid on his grandpa's lap. Where'd you get that old watch, Grandpa? It was my grandfather's. Did he give it to you? No, I got it when he died. Did I get your stuff when you die? Inheritance is like nice, but at the same time it's kind of weird, It's like you have to acknowledge, yes, I'm giving you my stuff when I die. It's just kind of odd, but natural. So you got yours, Nate?
Okay. Let me just. Where is it? Okay. I'm not again like these are from Pinterest, so they might not be too
It's okay.
me. I will see how this is size-wise. Yeah, okay. That's okay.
Okay. So the first one with these aliens and then then that one. Is it? Oh yeah, more okay.
Last one here. Boop.
Okay, here we go. Welcome to our ship, human. Oh, aliens, are you gonna anal probe me? What? No, that's disgusting. We are a regal species. We have traveled thousands of light years, watched stars collapse, spent space and time. So no, we have no interest in anally probing you. We want you to probe yourself while we watch and jerk our Glacknars. That is true. You have to think about this when aliens probe people. Like, are they doing it to get their rocks off? You know, is that their form of porn because their species has advanced so much? Normal porn just doesn't do it for them.
You think that rumor was just started by a closeted gay guy?
Maybe, yeah, maybe some closeted gay guy is just starting some kind of.
Just think about it. They go, "Why are you walking funny?" He remembers his night where he had butt sex in a dingy bathroom, and he's like, "Aliens kidnapped me and anal probed me." Oh no! Yeah.
Yeah, oh no. Okay, next one. Me, I had that dream again. One where you're naked? Me nodding, yeah, and holding the moon while surfing on the back of a lizard. Therapist, yeah, maybe keep these dreams to yourself from now on. And did someone draw that?
Medieval art. Yeah, that's just medieval
Oh
art
yeah.
with some other like like
It looks like the same,
medium.
like the Kingdom Come Deliverance art.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one, it's just a radish. When something's kind of rad, but not too rad. Oh, it's a radish. It's radish.
Yeah. It's radish.
Were you thinking of that when you thought of Raditz? They all call him Radish.
I mean, yeah, I definitely thought of him after like seeing this one. I was just like, hey.
Okay, so damn it, Dom, he's way too strong. Maybe strong. He's not as strong as family. Those not as strong.
I've never seen whatever movie
It's
is
Fast
the
and Furious.
bald. Are they bald?
Yeah,
okay,
basically that meme came about because Fast and Furious by that point had been, I think, on its 5th or 6th movie, and everyone was like so fucking sick of all these movies. They found that one little gold nugget that they clung to in the movie and were like, that's a meme. There we go. That's our little nugget from this series that has gone on for way too fucking long.
And they're still trying to extend it,
Oh yeah, they're still trying to do it. They're still trying to do more Fast and Furious movies.
even though they poorly CGI'd a dead man's face.
Yeah.
His relative.
Yeah, which is fucking insane. But anyways, I guess we're hitting the 1 hour mark. So, hey, just to let you know, I have figured out PC streaming for my laptop. So I am able to play PC games on my laptop now and stream them. Yes.
Yay.
So today, every Sunday from now on, I'll also make this announcement to the entire Discord, will be a PC streaming day. So I intend to go through my Steam library, at least what I can have on my laptop without crashing it. And so today will be Valheim. So base building time and stuff, and castles.
Okay.
And if you have any requests for PC games to play, I will try to get to them. I have a big library to go through for sure.
Well, I mean, you can like like show me your library or something, like just screenshot and post it into
Yeah.
RPMs or.
But anyways, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Nate, go ahead and wrap us up.
Yeah. Goodbye, Pebbles across all platforms. This has been the Idiots Podcast.